afternoon, sir.
Please go ahead, sir. Please go ahead.
This is Satish here from Rural College, Kanakpura, Department of Commerce.
Thank you, sir. Next faculty, please.
Good afternoon.
So good afternoon.
Yes, madam, please go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Dr. Zonia Abraham, working as Assistant Professor in Education, Sharda Vilas Teachers College, Mysore.
Thank you, madam.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, madam.
I am Apurva Raikar. I am working as Assistant Professor from Department of Computer Science at Government First Grade College, Haryana.
Yes, madam. Thank you, madam.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, madam.
I'm Dr. Namita from Rural College, Kanakpura, in Department of Chemistry.
Thank you, madam.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, madam, please go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir. I am Rashmi, Department of Commerce, working as Assistant Professor in Rural College, Kanakpura.
Thank you, madam.
Sir,
Good afternoon, sir. This is Sumangala Pattar, working at GFTC Honuru from Department of English.
Thank you, madam.
Good afternoon, sir. This is Dr. Vimala, working as Assistant Professor in Department of Mathematics, Rural College, Kanakpura.
Thank you, madam.
Good afternoon, sir. This is
Good noon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
One by
I'm
one.
Dr. Savitri. I'm an Assistant Professor in the Department of Chemistry in Rural College, Kanakpura.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, sir.
This is Praveen Chitragar, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, madam, please go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir. I am Manik, Assistant Professor, Government First Grade College, Kamlapur, District Kalburgi.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. I am Dr. Kontam Satish, Department of Economics, Assistant Professor, Sri H.R.D.C. Memorial College, Gangavati, Koppal District, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Very good afternoon, sir. This is Praveen Chitragar from History Department, HRSM Sri Ramal College, Gangavati.
Good afternoon, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Myself, Dr. Gurmurthy H., Assistant Professor, Department of Agricultural Microbiology, College of Agriculture, Assam, sir.
Yes, sir. So I think the participation number is more than 60, right, sir?
Yes.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. Dr. Anwant Raju.
Good afternoon, sir.
Professor, Department of Geography, the Rural College, Kanakpura.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Department of Mathematics, Assistant Professor, Kanakpur, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
sir.
I'm Dr. Ria Alice Bijon, Assistant Professor, Department of Physics from Arthoma College, Chungatramalappuram, Kerala.
Thank you, madam.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, madam.
I'm Archana Hiramat, sir, Department of Political Science, Assistant Professor in Ramulu College, Gangavati, sir, Koppal District.
Thank you, madam.
Good afternoon, sir.
Sachin, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sachin, sir. GFGC Sankarana Village, Kundapura Taluk, sir, Department of Kannada, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Sumalata, Department of Zoology, Rural Kanakpura College, sir.
Thank
Good
you.
afternoon, sir. My name is Ruksana F. Department of Kannada, Government First Grade College, Mamdapura, Vijaypura District, sir.
Just see, madam, whether the slides are visible or not.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, it is visible.
sir.
So, I mean, I think number is very big, so we will cut short here only. In case if there is any, in case if we get more time, we will have an introduction later, sir. Is that fine?
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
In case the slides are not visible, please let me know. In case the slides are not visible, please let me know. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I think, as far as the introduction is concerned, there are some participants from outside Karnataka as well, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So we will have to conduct in both in Kannada and English, or English is fine?
Yes, sir. Kannada and English.
Both Kannada and English, sir.
How many participants are there from outside Karnataka, madam?
Myself, Suraj Kumar Rao from West Bengal.
Acha, oh, West Bengal. Okay, fine. So we will conduct in both predominantly in English and
From
little
Kerala.
Kannada as well.
Sir, I am Renju Ammo Joseph from Kerala.
Yes, madam. Yes, madam. So we'll do it in both predominantly in English. In case if there are any queries, we will have to we will conduct in Kannada as well. So predominantly in English only. So as you know, Nanjota sir, explained about my biodata and information related to me. I'm Kannappa Shetty, faculty in the School of Social Work, IGNOU, New Delhi. Now the topic is common psychological issues among students. So am I audible, right?
Yes, sir. Audible,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Audible.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir, audible, sir.
My request is, in case if you are not able to audible, please raise your voice and you can stop me in between. That is one. Second one is, in case if you are not able to understand any point or any issue, you can stop me anytime and you can you can ask the questions. So now let's understand the common psychological issues among the students. As far as my knowledge is concerned, you are all teachers in different colleges, in different universities, teaching different subjects, and probably you, since you are dealing with the students with the various levels, you may be understanding or you may be experiencing some of the issues related to their health and mental health. So now let's have a brief probably seminar or a kind of lecture on what are the common psychological issues faced by these students and how do we what kind of intervention we can give. Not in the college, probably how do we refer them to nearby mental health issue like experts or psychological experts. All those things we can discuss one by one. Now, what is this very important, the topic we are going to discuss now? The world is increasingly polarized, with the very wealthy becoming wealthier and the number of people living in poverty still far too high. 2020 highlighted the inequality due to race and ethnicity, sexual orientation and gender identity, and lack of respect for human rights in many countries, including for people living with mental health conditions. And such inequalities have an impact on people's mental health. This theme chosen for 2021, this is predominantly for mental health issues, and where 75% to 90% of people with mental disorders in the low middle income countries unable to access mental health services. That means in our country is also part of lower middle income country. There are 75% to 90% of people with mental health issues, so unable to access the mental services. They are, in the sense, they are unable to take treatment. So the number is very high. So lack of investment in mental health disproportionate the overall health budget contribute to the mental health treatment. That is a main gap. So there is a less resources on mental health interventions or mental treatment facilities. So especially COVID-19, I think most of us faced COVID-19. 2-3 years back, we have faced severe issues. Pandemic has increased inequalities in human development, including dealing mental health by causing more incidents of mental disorders and disrupting already limited mental services. In the sense, the COVID also caused a lot of health issues, predominantly mental health issues. I'm sure most of us have faced various issues. It could be anxiety, it could be probably depression, it could be OCD, or it could be some kind of phobia due to COVID-19. Even before COVID-19, mental disorders of varying severity affected 1 in 7 Indians. That means 1 in 7 1 in 7 people in Indian context, people are affected with mental health issues. It adds up to about 20 crore people having mental disorder in our country. Around 20 crore people out of 140 crore people in our country, around 20 crore people are having one or the other psychological issues. If you observe your family or neighbor's family or friend's family or known family very closely, at least one or the other family member is having psychological issues. Unfortunately, many of them are not able to take the treatment because of stigma, because of various other issues. Nearly 80% of the suffering from mental disorders do not receive treatment. That is, part of a national mental health survey. So mental disorders are also accompanied by stigma, thereby affecting education, livelihood, opportunities. All those things are very common in our country. So what is even more? Yes, madam.
Sir, can you make the slides full screen, sir, so that it will be visible properly?
Okay, madam. Now,
Full
madam?
screen ready, sir.
Is it in full screen now?
No, sir. Slideshow.
From my end, it is in the full slideshow only. I think it may take a few seconds, madam. Just check.
Okay, sir. No worries.
Is it the same thing for all?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I have made it in a, no, I mean, it is in a slideshow mode only. Nothing to worry, madam. I'll give the slides as well. I'll share the slides. So I think it is a technical issue. It may probably take 1 or 2 minutes.
Okay, sir.
You can ask, in case if you have any questions, you can ask me anytime. You can stop me as well. What another very important mental health issue is, what is even more worrying is that there is a correlation between prevalence of mental disorders and suicide. Suicide is increasing among students, among teachers, among parents, among farmers. Various sections of the society are having suicide related issues because of various mental health issues. Indians account for more than 1/4 of deaths by suicide globally. The understandable, these figures have wide implications. WHO estimates the total burden of mental health problems in India at 2043, disability adjusted life years for, I think 1 lakh population. Tally is the sum of the years of life lost due to premature mortality and the years lived with the disability due to death, health conditions in a population. The economic loss due to mental health conditions in India between 2012 to 2030 is estimated around $1.3 trillion according to WHO. So given the magnitude of the challenging, our response is inadequate. India's health budget is low and even lower budget for mental health. Within the health budget, there is a very less budget for mental health. The government's total expenditure on mental health is about 600 crore, including 40 crore for the flagship of National Mental Health Program. The low budgetary allocation is reflected in the state of our human resources. The total number of mental health workers per 1 lakh population is 1.93 only. It comprises psychiatrists, mental health nurses, psychiatric social workers, and psychologists, clinical psychologists. So even these limited resources are under increased pressure due to the pandemic. The disease, death of kith and kin, and loss of income have caused mental health conditions or aggravated the pre-existing conditions, even in some cases causing a spike in substance abuse. Substance abuse including nicotine addiction, alcohol addiction, cannabis, brown sugar, all those things are part of substance only. COVID-19 itself can also cause a neurological mental disorders according to the new survey by WHO. A survey by the new Indian Psychiatric Society has noticed that the pandemic affected the mental health of 20% more, and after pandemic or during pandemic the mental health issues are increasing day by day. Now I wanted to, these are the papers we have published during COVID. I just skip this thing so that you can we can have more discussion on students related mental health issues. So now coming to the important aspect of student mental health. Student mental health services is at blossoming stage in India currently, especially the students related mental health issues are increasing, and their facilities are also increasing. Awareness of students mental health issues and adolescent developmental issues is lit but increasing. The space students mental health services which are available currently are restricted to the metropolitan city. Especially students mental health issues are available in major cities, not in suburban or probably in village settings are very less. So adolescents from a major part of our country, according to the census of 2021, 46% of around 47% of population is below the age of 20 years. The prevalence rate of psychiatric disorders in India is 12.5%. Further, approximately 50% of adult mental disorders have either probably their onset in childhood and adolescent stage. So now, what are the main psychological issues? Learning disorder, since you are all teachers, probably in working in higher education, universities or colleges, learning disorder is very common, related to writing their probably graphics. That's nothing but mathematics and learning, all those things. And anxiety is very common. ADHD, that is again some children, some students may not be able to focus on particular things, and they'll be wandering here and there. So hyperactive disorder and OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. And personality disorders such as ASPD means antisocial personality disorder, very common among male students. EUPD, emotional unstable personality disorder, very common among female students. And severe mental disorders like schizophrenia, depression, BPAD. I can discuss a little bit later, what is exactly the schizophrenia, what exactly the depression and BPAD, all those things. And relationship and love affairs among college students are very common. So nowadays we are, we are understanding that there are a number of relationship issues in our colleges or universities. Many students are facing it. Substance use disorder is again very, very common. ADS means alcohol dependence syndrome. NDS means nicotine dependence syndrome. CDS means cannabis dependence syndrome. Apart from this, there are other new drugs where many students are affected with cough
Sorry,
syrup.
sir.
Yes, madam.
Sir, respective slide is not coming on the screen, I guess.
Acha, oh. So I'll restart it.
We are at the last point is the economic loss due to mental health condition.
Okay, okay. I'll restart it. I'll reshare it.
Okay, sir.
Now check, madam.
Yes. Brief introduction on common psychological problems.
Issues. So whether this slide
Yes.
is visible?
Yeah, it's appearing.
Yes, sir.
I'll make it a slideshow as well. Please check. Because of technology related issues, there may be some problems as well. Slideshow is visible, madam?
No, sir.
Is it same? Is the same thing for all?
It's brief
Yes,
introduction
sir.
on common psychology.
Yes, sir. It is
Yes,
same
sir.
for all.
Same.
Okay.
Yes.
At least this slide is visible, right?
Yes, yes. The slide is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Visible, sir. Visible.
Mainly, you want me to repeat this slide or is this fine?
No, this is fine, sir. This is fine. Let us skip this slide.
Yeah, yeah. So these are all the common psychological issues among students, especially in the college or university. We can discuss little later each and every disorder here, whatever we have mentioned here. And the new added psychological issue among students are technology related issues. It could be part of internet, social media, video, gaming, and now another important issue is coming up like betting. Betting, nothing but gambling. This is also part of psychological issues. Many students we are seeing a number of students are involving in online betting. It could be IPL or it could be football. It could be various virtual play like games, and they're spending a lot of money, and unfortunately they're getting they are addicted and having a lot of mental health issues. And then of course there is no gain, it's only loss. Only due to that they are having a lot of issues, and it is also turning into family disputes, and many students are getting committing suicide as well. And now one by one we'll discuss so learning disorder in students. So you can probably tell me, instead of me explaining each and everything from your own perspective. We come across any student facing a reading issue, writing issue, or mathematical related issue, where you find that this particular student is intelligent yet having a lot of issues related to learning. Can anyone tell me from your own perspective?
Sir, especially after COVID, sir, students doesn't want to write. They just listen. They don't want to write anything. This is the most problem, I think, everybody faced.
Yes, but that is not a part of learning disability, madam. That is, they don't want to write, thinking that they can probably listen and learn. But this is learning disabilities means students they will have some neurological issue. They are unable to write. They can read, but they're unable to write. That means their hands are unable to support them for writing. That is a part
Yes,
of learning.
sir. I have come across such students in my institute.
Their IQ wise, they're extremely intellectual people, extremely brilliant, but they could not able to, they can read. They can read, but they could not able to write because of some. There is some disability in their brain. Their neurodevelopmental milestone might have not probably reached the proper stage.
I mean, some of them are suffering with the autism also.
Exactly. Yeah. Any other experience from your own perspective where you could see such kind of students and finding it difficult?
Yes, I have faced such challenges wherein the students, they are very few in numbers, but they are in my college, and they are intelligent as you said, but they sometimes find it difficult to speak. Someone is finding it difficult to write. Someone is finding it difficult to cope up with his anger. These things I have noticed here.
Correct, sir. I'll show you a very important film related to this. See, how many of you watched this movie or heard about this movie, Tare Zameen Par? I'm sure.
Yes, sir. Amir Khan produced.
I'm
Yes,
sure almost all. See, in this movie, they have portrayed a student facing a learning disability. Okay, so nothing but there are a number of students having this kind of issues, but the teacher or the parents we are unable to understand that the student is having this issue. Sometimes we blame the student, or we beat the student, or we scold the student, or we torture, we punish the student, saying that he is doing it purposefully. So it is not that. He is having learning disability which is not visible, because it is in the the disability is in its brain, in his brain. Whereas some the physical disability, if the person is deaf, the deaf, or the person is dumb, the person is having a loss of limb, so that all these kind of disabilities are visible, whereas learning disability or mental disability are not visible. So we think that the student is absolutely fine, the child is absolutely fine, but he is not able to perform such kind of activities. Then we think that he is lazy, or he is purposefully doing it, or there are some kind of behavioral issues. But all those things are wrong. He is actually having a disability, learning disability, and there are some parts of his brains are not probably developed properly. That's why he is having a reading related issue, writing related issue, pronunciation related issue. Sometime you might have seen that some students are writing ulta, like mirror writing. Some students are unable to pronounce, some students are unable to do any kind of mathematics related things. So all those things are part of learning disability. Am I able to communicate the things?
Yes, sir.
So please let me know in case if
Yes,
you're not
sir.
able to understand, so I can explain little slowly, or I can explain even ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲೂ ಸಹ ಕೆಲವೊಂದ್ಸಲ ಹೇಳ್ಬಲ್ಲೆ. ನಿಮ್ಗೇನು ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಹೇಳಿ, ನಾನು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲೂ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. So I can mix both English and Kannada as well.
Okay, sir.
So there are certain famous people who had learning disability. ಇವರೆಲ್ಲ learning disability ಇದ್ದುಕೊಂಡು ಸಾಧನೆ ಮಾಡಿರುವಂತವರು. And there are a number of people. These people are you have read in your history, you have read in various literature, or various newspapers or TVs, and they have achieved a lot. And in spite of having learning disability, they could able to reach their goal and get success in their life. And they're absolutely famous. So Leonardo da Vinci, we know what was his contribution. Winston Churchill, Thomas Alva Edison, Albert Einstein, Woodrow Wilson, Tom Cruise, Pablo Picasso. So Harvey, Cushing, they're all extremely brilliant people. Unfortunately, they had learning disability, but learning disability idrunu saha vargade bandu avar sadhane ಮಾಡಿರುವಂತವರು. Like these people, there are a number of new generation as well. And in spite of having learning disability, they had their own talent. They nurtured their parents, their teacher, their neighbors, their relatives. They nurtured their talent, and they could able to success in their life. So that ultimately, what I'm trying to say is, education is not ultimate for some kind of achievers. Disability is not a kind of a barrier for them. So they could able to overcome their disability, and they could able to nurture their talent. Any talent, it could be cricket, it could be football, it could be painting, it could be film, or any talent, whatever they had. We need to identify that. Okay, if some students are unable to perform good in their examination or academics, but they are excellent in certain extracurriculum activities or cultural activities or even sports activities. If you can, the teacher and the parents, if they can identify such kind of things, if they can support them, definitely they'll achieve good things in their life. So another very important common, what I'm saying, the common psychological issue among students is anxiety. So how many of you come across this anxiety among among your students? Some students are having election in case there are elections, some universities they will have it. Otherwise, commonly exam related phobia, exam related anxiety, separation anxiety. Some students probably from the rural area, they have to come to urban area, they have to stay in hostel, they don't want to leave their parents and stay alone or stay with friends. They'll be having always like a separation anxiety, saying that I am far away from my parents, I'm far away from my place, I may not be getting homemade food, or I'm missing my home, or my relatives, my family, all those things. Many students will be having this kind of issues. And any incident like this from your own teaching experience or college experience? Can anybody say share that your student had some anxiety while studying or while attending classes?
Actually, one student, she's having this anxiety. She is good in class, okay, but she's very much afraid of taking up tests and exams. She's only having that fear that she may not do well.
Yes,
Especially I've seen in my maths subject, most of the time, even lab exams, also theory exams, test also, assignments and all she will submit. But during test, she is absent for most of the subjects. How many
exactly.
times we have done the counseling also, she is not ready to overcome that one. We have done counseling many times, but still she is having that fear.
Yes, madam. This is actually very common among many students. Many students that they actually they perform well. They perform well. I mean, they try. They get very good training, and the teachers are good. The trainings are good. Unfortunately, when it comes to the exam, they will have this kind of anxiety. Their palpitation is very common. Sweating is very common. Anxious is very common. Unable to speak, unable to remember. Memory related issues are very common. And we are also seeing some other anxiety, like some students are extremely good at home, but when it come to the college they will have all these things. And so again, some students are very good in college, but when it comes to the examination they will have examination fear. So as we're all teachers, during the examination and after the examination, during the result announcement, very extremely difficult for the students and parents to manage the students stress and students anxiety. Some people they commit suicide if they get less marks, because of fear of parents, because of stigma in the society, saying that the student could not able to get very good grades, they'll commit suicide is very common. So these are all again part of anxiety related issues only. Another one very important subcategory of anxiety disorder is obsessive compulsive disorder, that is OCD, where some students repeatedly write, repeatedly washing their hands, repeatedly checking, repeatedly saying some particular numbers, repeatedly climbing the steps of college school. So this is repeated activities and repeated writing, repeatedly thinking their mind. Again, this is very common among students, but many teachers or parents or the student himself or herself unable to identify that is a part of OCD. That is nothing but obsessive compulsive disorder. Any student teacher can say, or is there any teacher can identify or probably share their experience in their college or institution that their student got affected with this particular disorder?
Sir, I have come across one student.
Yes, madam.
She has a memory related issue. I had already asked one other professor. She used to read, write everything. She is a very kind of a girl, studious. But the thing is, when she go to the exam, she used to forget everything. So, what is the remedies you suggest for her to remember to memorize?
Yeah, we will have to evaluate what exactly the student experiencing. We'll have to evaluate and what was his what was her his study habits. So we need to understand how they study. There are n number of students we could see that they study overnight without sleeping properly. All night they study, and the morning they'll forget. And there are some students they study only 2-3 hours, but they completely they remember each and everything. So there are some students nowadays, they use mobile excessively. They hear, they use headphone, and one side they listen some music, and another side they read. So we need to know what is the pattern of students, study. So with that, and if some students, they multiple work they do to, at a time. So definitely which will hamper their memory, remember like memory, other things. So we need to understand what is their study habit, and how they study, how long they study, whether are there any supporting environment at family. Some students they study with the TV, with mobile, with audio video, or with lot of disturbances. So we need to first understand their study habits, then only we can understand their exact problem, and we can suggest. So there are very good study habits, very good examination related preparation techniques are there. All those things, I can, in case if you this is all those things are not part of this particular seminar, but if you want, I can share it with you via mail later.
Okay, sir. I'll communicate with you.
Yes,
Thank you,
ma'am.
sir.
So after that, there is a generalized anxiety disorder. For example, some students, they're unable to speak in a group. If you ask them to talk on particular subject like pick and speech or seminar, or bhashan, even in front of students or teacher, they're unable to speak. This is called stage fear, social fear. If you ask them to take particular topic and speak, they don't speak, but they write well. They write well. They know the subject very well, but in front of teacher, or in the group, or in the big auditorium, in the auditorium, they cannot able to speak. So this is very common. There are some students having this kind of issue. There are specific phobias. For example, some students unable to face mass, like in a sense, many people. And there are some students unable to face like water phobia is very common. And building like height, there are some students they're unable to climb very height, like very big buildings. And dark phobia, there are some students who face this issue related to dark or night. So these are all again very common. I had a student when I was doing my MPhil in Nimas. He had actually phobia related to money. That means up to 12th grade he could not able to use the money, because the moment he see money, the voice of the coins, the he cannot able to see the picture of money. The moment he see that, he gets more anxiety, and and angry, and he beats parents or people around him. So that was another kind of phobia. There are a number of phobias where some students face. And selective mutism means some students unable to speak for certain things. Post-traumatic stress disorder, this is very common. Dear colleagues, so since you're all teachers and working in various universities in different states, and trauma disorder is increasing day by day. There are a number of traumas related to sexual abuse, related to violence, related to accident, related to disaster. It could be man-made disaster or natural disaster. Any kind of trauma that will have a long-lasting impact on their mental health. You might have seen some students, especially girl students, are having trauma because of their father, their parents violence, sexual violence in their childhood. All those things are very common, but unfortunately they are unable to speak up. They are unable to explain. But they show some kind of symptoms, psychological symptoms. When you get into in depth of the problem, you will understand that they had some trauma, like some kind of violence, and that has got, that has given very in depth psychological what I could say, trauma for these students, and they faced severe problems. And all these problems were their feelings were suppressed. They were unable to overcome all those things. So this trauma is becoming a major issue for our students. Any example from your own perspective where you have seen some kind of a trauma in your own student, were unable to explain, unable to face it, unable to overcome, and experiencing psychological issues. Always they are into fear, always they are into nervous, always they are into crying, or unable to explain their difficulties. Always they are shy to take some kind of leads. Such kind of always they are into their own world. They may not be able to understand what exactly going on. Such kind of examples are there in from your own perspective? Okay, so if not there, am I audible, right? Hello?
Yes, sir, you're audible, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
please,
sir.
in between, please respond. Otherwise, I think that my mic is mute, or I'm unable to communicate with
No,
you.
actually, what you were asking about these psychological issues, the PTSD, I mean, it happens it occurs in different forms in different students.
Yes,
So
sir.
that's why I was quiet, because I was thinking that which example to quote. There are many. Actually, there are many. So I thought, let others speak. So yeah. So basically, everyone is traumatized nowadays.
Yes, sir.
Even a milder scold by the teacher traumatizes the students
Yeah, to
nowadays.
some students, exactly.
So this is the problem, that the students are not tough anymore. Like when we were students, we were very tough. Teachers used to beat us, slap us, used to use very harsh words with us, and we hardly bothered. We took it as a positive response from the teacher. But nowadays, you can't even scold a student,
The
and even
system
if you
has become
scold,
like this, sir. The entire system
yeah.
has become like this.
Yes, you can't scold, and if you scold, they take it in a different manner.
Right.
Luckily, I have diverse experience of teaching students. I have taught in Jharkhand, I have taught in Delhi NCR, I have taught,
Yes.
in West Bengal as well. So the place where I am working right now, the students are a little bit more respectful compared to
Correct.
the place where I was working before in Delhi NCR. So even the place affects the mindset of the students.
Exactly, sir. Now, since I'm in Delhi, sir, you rightly said that. Students are extremely smart here and extremely difficult to handle. For each and everything they complain, and for teachers also it will be difficult. Of course, it also depends on the geographical location, the place, as you rightly said, the parental attitude, the parental support. All those things are very important, but we are also helpless sometimes, so we don't necessarily involve in their personal things. But of course, so there are some students, they face trauma like anything in each and every activities of their daily life. So this is another very common attention deficit hyperactive disorder. This is actually, this particular problem is called ADHD, is increasing day by day because of excessive usage of screen, mobile, laptop, TV, or various gadgets. So many students are having this issue. They're unable to sit in a class for half an hour or 1 hour. Even they're unable to complete the examination for 3 hours, 2.5 hours, whatever you prescribed timeline is there. And many parents, they complain that most of the times at home, they either they watching movies or some videos or some web series, or they always they'll be on these gadgets, and because of that they're unable to perform their daily activities. They're unable to even sit half an hour for their breakfast or their lunch or their dinner. They wanted everything quickly. They just spend a few minutes, and they will complete their dinner or their breakfast. Many parents, they say that our students while sleeping they're eating, or while going to college they're eating, or they do all these activities irrespective of time, irrespective of manners, and irrespective of proper plan. So this is increasing day by day, unfortunately. And for another reason, this thing is there's many students are getting into drugs. Smoking is becoming very common, and alcohol is becoming very common, and solvents, or cannabis, all those things are associated with ADHD. So similarly, teachers also facing, there most of times some students with this kind of issues, frigidity is very common, and leaves sit in classroom, very common, runs about or climbs excessively, has difficulty in playing quietly, often on the go, and often talks excessively, often burst out answers before question completed, This is becoming a very common issue in all college and universities. Any experience from your own perspective, whether I mean, is it the same thing you are also experiencing, in your college and universities with your students? Hello.
Yes, sir, obviously. We are experienced, as I said before also, that it's very difficult sometimes to handle such situation. Like, if I give you example where you are right now, when I was in Greater Noida, so there were a group of students who had made a gang in their class. And that gang used to traumatize not only the classmates, but also the teachers. Okay. So that was a very unique experience for me. And I was the only teacher who confronted them upfront. Okay, because I cannot tolerate indiscipline in the class. Indiscipline I can't tolerate, And in private universities, it's mandatory to attend classes because they have to get 75% attendance mark. But in government aided or government funded colleges and universities, that is not mandatory. Even in my institute, people don't come to the class. They stay at home and I don't know how did they study, but they study on their own. And there are AI and stuff. So that depends, how you what kind of environment you are in. 75% attendance is mandatory, so they are in the class, but they will not keep quiet in the class. They will keep on disturbing the class.
Right,
so that was a very challenging situation for me there when I was working.
So
And
this,
here in my institute, in Malda, West Bengal, it is very simple. Only those students attend classes who want to study. This is this.
Correct. So unfortunately, this ADHD is increasing day by day, and it's a big, it's a very big challenge for teachers, for parents, even for institutions. I'll explain a little later why this technology addiction is increasing. So OCD, as I said, repeatedly, washing, repeatedly reading, and repeatedly, probably checking all those things again, common among few students. Depression, we know that depression is is another major issue among the students. Some students, not all, I'm saying some students, if they get less marks, they feel sad, they always crying, and they don't show any interest, they don't come to college, and there will be some suicide attempts, death wishes. Some student, I'm saying, for some students, depression, like if there is a breakup in their relationship, if there is some kind of financial issues, if there is some kind of health related issues, they always feel low, they feel low, and they don't want to leave, they don't want to show any interest in academics, they don't come to the college, they don't talk to the friends or teachers. So this depression among students also increasing for various reasons, not just for one particular issue, for various issues. And some students, they get into depression because of excessive usage of drugs. Some students, they get into depression because of family issues, parental issues. A number of reasons are there, but we need to understand that depression is also another major reason among major issue among our students. Mood swings. So here there are two kind of issues. One is mania, and the depression. Depression is feeling low, no activity, no involvement activities, not able to perform in academic things. That is low energy. High energy is mania, always laughing, always cheerfulness, always excessively talking, and excessively like laughing and saying big things. I can do many things. So these both are part of a mood disorder. It's called mood swings, bipolar affective disorder. This is also not very common, but there are certain students facing this issue. Sometimes they'll be very sad. After 1 or 2 days, they'll be very high. They like very like they'll be laughing. They'll be on very high, and they'll be doing many big things, but they could not able to complete anything, but they will touch each and every activity. So these two things are very common in mood disorder. Some students will be facing it. So personality disorder, ASPD, ASPD, they anti-social personality disorder. Some male student, or even there are female students, but very common among male students, like lying, stealing, manipulating behaviors, not able to complete assignments, not able to study properly, and going against the societal norms, legal norms, beating, involving violence, and stealing. All those things are very common among, like, repeatedly lying, repeatedly manipulating behaviors. Violence is very common, involving drugs, crime. So these are all part of personality disorder, where some students, not very big, 1 or 2 students in the college having gang involving these activities are very common. And UPD, Some students will be having emotional related issues, emotional unstable personality disorder. For small things they cry. For small things, they feel sad. For small things they'll break the relationship. For small thing, for even no reason, they will feel very sad, very upset. And sometimes they'll be very cheerful, very good, they'll help each and every person. But for small things they will they feel they start crying, they start up upsetting their mind. They will be sometime having a behavioral issues. So this is also very common, but very percentage wise is very less. So the UUPD, some symptoms like self-harming behavior. Like some students, for small thing they cut their wrist or their hand, or they also threaten, saying that I'll commit suicide. Self-harming behaviors are very common. Impulsive behaviors, anger outburst is very common. No goal directed activities, mood swings, sensitive for critics, suicidal threat. So other emotional issues. So this is some students they show. Even in family members also we see that some children face this kind of no issues. Any experience from your own perspective? Is there such kind of cases in your college or institutions? Can anyone share their experience, whether such kind of students are there in your college or institutions? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So at least you could able to listen my voice, that is sufficient.
Yes, sir. There are many students we have seen facing all these issues. Like even some are very bright students. Like for example, in the sense if they score very less marks, even for that also they become sometimes very much until they get the full marks, they're not satisfied.
Correct. For small
Type of
people become very emotional.
Yeah, emotional. They want out of out marks. If they score even 1 marks less also,
Correct.
it will be difficult that time to manage them. Until they get 50 out of 50, they're not satisfied. Even that is also one sort of disorder in those students we have seen.
Exactly. Even their parents also like this, madam. Sometimes their parents always aim at IIT, JEE, very big courses. Even if they get out of 100 marks, if they get 99, the parents also not satisfied.
Yes,
So
sir.
the parents, the parents, the background of parents also very important, with these kind of students. And they always aim at out of out, the marks or the grades. I mean, such kind of issues are also very problematic nowadays. Even teachers also facing, the parents also facing, even society is also facing. Unfortunately, these kind of cases are increasing day by day. There is no emotional balance. That is very important aspect among these kind of students. For small things they rise like anything. They don't very often they go down, and they feel they will be crying like anything. Very difficult to console them, very difficult to manage them. So ASPD, again, I said these are all the violence related things only. Gang activities, violence related behaviors are there among male students, very common in the colleges, but number is very less. Substance use disorder, very commonly, you can see in the colleges. Alcohol, some students are using tobacco, both in the form of chewing and smoking. Pan is also very common. Cannabis, opioids, and caffeine, solvents. There are new drugs are also coming up. Some students they use medicines, tablets, in the form like for getting various related psychological pressures. Sir,
You open start with plot. Okay,
Sir,
take a new chart and plot. And over there, you don't get animated directly. Okay.
Hello. Hello, please. Hello. Tell me, sir.
The participant's mic was unmuted, so maybe he was talking to someone else.
Okay, thank you. So the technology addiction is becoming a very major issue. I'm sure not only in our colleges or universities, even with our children we are facing it. Sometimes we ourselves are facing it, but day by day this issue is increasing. Internet is excessively, I mean, many students are using excessively for various reasons. Social media, Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, and video games, TV, computer, laptop, all those things are very common. Many you might have seen some students for they do a lot of reels. They do a lot of reels, and for likes, shares, they do a lot of activities, and always they'll be on social media, or they wanted to get more likes or more shares. So they leave academics, and they go outside, and they create some videos, they upload on Facebook or Twitter or even Instagram. There are a number of social medias are there. Earlier, I don't know whether now still there or not. TikTok was there. I don't know. Many students are very famous on this. They are unfortunately not famous in academics. They also get into some kind of psychological issues in case if they don't get adequate likes and shares. Some people 24/7 they lock themselves in the rooms, and even in the hostel, or at their home they will be watching movies. It could be video games, or sports activities, or some students are even addicted to phonographies. So these are all becoming a major issue, again leading to poor academics, poor mental health, behavioral related issues, giving back answer to parents or teachers, and not able to sleep properly, not able to eat properly. Physical symptoms are there. So this again, we know that internet is needed nowadays, becoming a basic issue, basic need. Unfortunately, many students are unable to use it properly, and they are misusing it and facing a lot of psychological issues. So am I right? I think you might have come across a number of cases in your college or university related to technology addiction.
We have seen such type of students.
So they don't perform good academic activities, but they are very good in social media and doing a lot of reels, or uploading photos or videos, or addicted to various games, or even online betting. Again, this very nowadays we see a lot of students, they wanted to get good money, and they're investing in online gambling, or betting, both Indian and Western sites also they are using it. There are a number of students are committing suicide because of excessively losing their amount money, and stealing and involving crime, because they wanted money. Students, they will not get, parents will not give, so they have to invest. So it is becoming a kind of habit, or it's a kind of addiction. So they steal, and they involve in crime, and they store, they do all kind of things, and they they ultimately they'll be behind the bars. So this is again day by day increasing, and the entire academic society, the teachers are facing it very difficult to manage this kind of scenarios in the university or campuses. So relationship issues, we know that many students, again, just like addiction issue, technology addiction issue, many students are having relationship issues. Love affairs are very common. Unfortunately, they are unable to manage it, unable to balance it, and some students, they're losing their precious academic life, and their academic performance are not up to the mark. And some students, they're committing suicide, and they're also involving some kind of crime, or murder. All those things are becoming very complicated and common because of relationship related issues or love affairs. Sometimes there will be triangular love, there will be different many people are involving in love. So extremely difficult to understand this kind of complicated issues. Am I right?
Right. You are right.
So even sometime in each and every college there will be one counselor or the faculty working as a student welfare officer or counselor. Even they will be again they'll be burdened with a lot of referrals or cases. They are also unable to resolve. Sometimes it will be difficult. Parents are far away. Students are studying in hostel, residential facilities, and they may not be knowing it. They just give money and say that the students are working, studying, but the students are involved in different activities. So other psychosocial problems, especially among students, academic stress. Some students, they study well, but when it comes to examination, they take it very extremely negative way. So stress is very common. Parental stress. So some students, like parents, they visit college or university saying that my children are studying. I mean, they're not studying well. They're getting low grades, and they say that the teachers are not teaching properly. Teaching methods are not up to the mark. Sometimes in some cases the parents scold they scold teachers, they scold academicians, and they also involve some kind of behavioral issues. So that is also major issue. Of course, parents also will have various issues because of their children. Loneliness, shyness among students becoming major issue. Grieving is sometimes they lose their parents, they lose their own loved ones or close friends. So this is also becoming issue. Homelessness. This is actually, it's becoming another kind of issue because some residential universities, not in government settings, probably not in village setting, in a very urban area like Delhi, Gurgaon or Chennai, Bangalore, students coming from far places, they study in, hostels. They will also sometimes face a lot of issues related to being away from their parents or home. They'll not get good food. They'll not get good atmosphere. They'll not be psychological warmth and positiveness, whatever they were receiving from their parents. So they will also sometime, most of times some students will be in hostels only. They will completely missing their home and foster care. So again, that is also another issue. Not with all students, some students are facing it. So what are the intervention we have to give now? So can anyone, before I say some intervention, can anyone say what are the like remedies or solutions we can provide from your own perspective? Okay, so let me say a few things. I mean, it's extremely difficult if you know that some students are extremely having issues, extremely difficult to counsel in the school or in the college or university. So during that scenario, we will have to refer them to mental professional, psychologist or counselor or even psychiatrist. It's difficult for us to provide a psychological first aid in the college or counseling in the college or even family counseling. So during that kind of scenario, such kind of scenarios, please refer them to any hospital, any counselor or any psychologist, where they are they provide this kind of intervention. They provide individual psychotherapy, individual counseling. There is a cognitive behavioral therapy, behavioral modification, relapse prevention strategies, MET, motivation enhancement therapy for addiction, family psychoeducation, parental management training, family therapy, group therapy. So all those things are there. All those things will be provided by trained mental professionally in the psychiatric setting or counseling centers. So the main thing is prevention. So early identification, early intervention. What teachers, what we can do, we can identify this kind of issues. So early identification probably will lead to early intervention. So if we identify later, and the students will be again, they will be in full-blown syndrome, full-blown disorder, and it will be difficult to treat them in the later stage. So what is our role is you can identify. In case if it is a simple issue, you can handle it. Otherwise, you can refer to any counselor. There also, if it is not working, then probably you can call the parents and inform them. And you can also give some referrals in your locality wherever you are there. Referrals of psychiatrists, referrals of counselor or mental professionals. They will handle it. And education of public. So we have to educate the parents and public and the students on various psychological issues, addiction related issues, and mobile or screen related issues, so that it can be prevented. And sensitize the parents. Of course, we need to sensitize the parents and other teachers as well on all these school related or college related issues. And effective liaison between all stakeholders. So as a teacher, as a professor in my college, probably I need to have a liaison with the hospitals and doctors or counselors or social workers or even parents in the locality, so that we can effectively resolve these kind of issues. Effective usage of print and electronic medium. Probably if you have some brochures or some kind of pamphlets and brochures, you can give it to students or teachers, or you can put it on your probably on the walls of college or corridor of college, or some movies also can be screened on drug related issues, various mental health related issues, or various students mental health related issues, so that some effective prevention can be done. And mental health awareness campaigns. So we again we need to campaign very effectively, very often in our college and our locality, so that the awareness will be raised. And targeting peer groups. So we need to train some friends, like in the peer, in the sense school, like school or college students, so that his or her friend is having some kind of issues, they can inform you, or they can inform college administration or the parents. So peer group intervention is very, very important. Many times the student may not come to you, may not come to the parents, may not come to the admin to inform that difficulties or their issues, but they can share with their friends. So if you can inform the the students or the peer group, probably they can work as like preventer, or like they can probably inform you or the other teachers and the parents, so that major incidents like suicide or mental major breakdowns of mental health can be preventable. So any questions and clarifications? I have 6 more minutes time. Am I audible?
Yeah, sir,
Yes, sir.
namaste.
Yes, sir.
ಯಾವ್ದೋ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಇದೆಯಾ?
Sir, Kalpana here. Sir, namaste.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಮೇಡಮ್.
Sir, my question is, most of my students, little bit, I'm confused in this matter. What decisions I have to take as the teacher? Most of my students, they are like they are into Rapido, Zomato, and Swiggy. They are working as a delivery boys. So I don't know whether